Tahirua. Namaste and welcome to our Diwali Whanau time. Yesterday we celebrated the Indian festival called Diwali. Diwali is one of the best known Indian festivals. It is a Hindu New Year festival and takes place in the autumn around October and November in India.
Before the festival day, the house is cleaned up. It is then decorated with glitter and tinsel. Little clay lamps called diyas are lit and placed in the windows and outside the front door. Mr. MacDonald will now start the ceremony by lighting the Diwali lamp. Room 19 will now perform a play called The Missing Diwali Tinsel.
You don't hurry up, your mom will be back soon. And you know how she loves everything clean. But Dad, why does everything have to be so clean? Is the Queen coming for tea? No, silly Billy. It's October, and it's that special time of the year called Diwali. We have to decorate the house with tinsel for Diwali. Dad, I know I might sound a little silly, but what are these little lamps called? They're called diyas. Now, do you get it? Well, let's carry on. Now, with that children and mouse, can you help me find it? I thought I saw it on that chair over there, but now it's not there. Yes, I thought I saw it there too. The mice must have eaten it. Wow, you three have been cleaning for Diwali. The floor looks tidy. Where's that tinsel that we left on the chair earlier? It was posted on the front door. What is that for your bottom, Father? The tinsel! I must have stuck into my pocket when I was having a nap. Now I see who's the silly Billy. Not just me after all. And we wish you a happy Diwali!
Tahirua. Our next performance is a dance based on the popular song called Jai Ho, led by Room 21. Please stand and join in. Please stand and join in.
Stand up.
You optimist, you. Yeah, I can do that.
I can't dance anymore.
Welcome to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? So, Jamal, which cricketer has scored the most first-class centuries in history? A.
Okay, guys, get quick enough.
Faster, yeah. Again. Beautiful. All right, full stop, let's go. Come on down, here's the bell. Back we go. Okay, jump here, up. Slowly down. Jump it. Touch this spot. All right, stop it up. Let's go. Everyone start. Here's the bell. Back we go. Okay, now we're going to push away. Push away. Push away.
The answer is D. Jacobs. Yes! You won!
One of the major features of Diwali is the famous story of Prince Ram and his wife Sita. An important part of Diwali is the telling of the story, either through dance, pictures, or play. Room 14 and 19 will be acting out the Diwali play for you today.
is the story of Diwali. The story comes from India and happened many years ago. There was once a prince called Ram. He was a handsome prince. His father was a wealthy king in India. One day, Ram met a beautiful princess. This princess's name was Sita, and she was very pretty. Ram liked Sita and wanted to marry her. Sita's father said to Ram that he could marry his daughter, but he had to do something rather special. Sita's father asked Ram if he could show he was strong enough to use a very heavy bow that no other man had used before. Ram replied, "Of course I am strong. I can use the bow without any problem." He picked up the heavy bow and pulled the string. The bow broke into tiny pieces. Sita's father said, "Ram, you are a strong prince, and therefore you can marry my daughter Sita." So Ram and Sita were married. Ram took Sita back home to meet his father. Ram's father was very happy, but he was also becoming very old. One day, the king said to Ram, "My son, I am becoming too old to rule this land. I want you to become the new king." The old king's wife, who was the step queen, however, was not happy. She wanted her son, Ram's younger brother, called Prince Bharat, to be the new king. She asked the old king to send Ram away into the forest for 14 long years. The king at first was very angry, and then he was very sad too. The king knew he did not want to upset his wife, the step queen, so with a heavy heart, he had to make a very sad decision. He called Ram and told him he must leave the kingdom at once, and he was not to come back to the palace for 14 long years. Ram, being the good son, did what his father asked him to, and along with Sita went away. Ram's younger brother, called Prince Lakshman, went with them too. Ram and Sita lived in the forest for a very long time. And then one day, the old king died. After the king's death, the step queen said to her son, Prince Bharat, "The king is dead now, and Ram is not here. Therefore, you should be crowned the new king." Prince Bharat said, "No, my father wanted my brother Ram to be the new king, not me. I will go to the forest and bring Ram and Sita back to the palace." Prince Bharat went to the forest and he found Ram, Lakshman, and Sita. Prince Bharat said to Ram, Ram, our father is dead. Please come back now and become the new king. Ram replied, No, I cannot come back yet, because I promised our father I would not come back for 14 years, and I cannot break my promise. Prince Bharat said, Then please give me your golden shoes, Ram. Ram took off his shoes and gave them to his brother. Prince Bharat took them back to the palace and put the golden shoes on the throne. He said to all at the palace, Ram is the new king, not I. He will come back one day. In the meantime, I will care for all of you until Ram returns. But I will not sit on the throne. This is Ram's throne. Meanwhile, back in the forest, a very wicked king was watching Sita. This wicked king was called Ravana. He watched and waited in the forest till Ram and Lakshman went hunting for food. And while the two young men were away, Ravana caught Sita. She was frightened and scared, but Ravana took her away to an island far, far away. Ravana wanted to marry Sita, but Sita said no. So Ravana kept Sita in his castle, and she was locked away in a dark, scary room. She remained a prisoner in the castle for a very long time. Meanwhile, Ram and Lakshman continued looking for Sita in the forest. As Ram was trying to find Sita in the forest, a friend of his named Hanuman came to see him. Hanuman was the king of the monkeys. Hanuman told Ram that he had seen Sita locked away in the wicked Ravana's castle. Ram was very angry, and he decided it was time to go rescue his wife and defeat the wicked King Ravana. Ram asked his friend Hanuman to go get his army of monkeys, and if they would join him and his brother in fighting Ravana and rescue his wife. They all agreed to fight the wicked king. The following act, which will be played out, is the scene from the epic battle that was fought between Ram, Lakshman, and Hanuman with his army of monkeys against the wicked king Ravana. Ram, Lakshman, Hanuman and his army of monkeys had defeated Ravana. Ram then went into the castle to rescue his wife Sita. Both Ram and Sita were very happy because they were together again at last. Now Ram had been away for 14 long years, so it was time to return to his palace. They traveled the long distance on an enormous elephant, and when they reached their palace, it was very dark. To help Ram and Sita, the people of his kingdom placed tiny little lamps, which were called diyas, outside their houses to welcome their new king and queen. These little lamps are called diyas, and that is why the story you have heard is called Diwali, the festival of lights. Room 19, 14 and 21 would like to say a big happy Diwali to the whole school. 1, 2, 3, go. Wow, that was amazing. Thank you, room 14, 19 and Mrs. Alima. We now invite Mr. McDonald to share his thoughts.
Mr. McDonald would love to share his thoughts. However, we have a technical glitch. Just give me a minute.
That would be great.
Welcome. While we get our technical glitch sorted, we might just need a microphone from somebody from the children's speaker. Thank you.
Stella, James, we've got so many welcomes. We've even got a welcome Mrs. Ballard. So can I have Mrs. Ballard up here with all of room 27, along with some brothers and sisters. Zach from room 11, Marlette from room 19, Ruby with Braxton, Maria come up with Mohammed, Eloise and Xavier as well. Can you guys all come up? Also, can I get Paige from room 5 with Jada from room 9, Ollie from room 6 with his buddy Lewis, Dexter from room 16 with a buddy, and Joe from room 18 with Leo, and Blaze from room 3 with her buddy. Okay, lots of people here. That's just our technical problem being sorted. Okay. Can we just get the lights switched? Okay, let's start with welcoming Mrs. Bella be here every day. Now let's give a big clap and a big welcome to Mrs. Ballard. So nice to meet you. Now Mrs. Ballard's going to introduce her first 3 kiddies who don't have brothers and sisters. So let's start.
That's right.
This is Angie, and she comes from Key.
Awesome. Welcome, Angela.
This is Natia, and she's from Australia.
Awesome.
And this is Sophie.
Sophie, welcome to Sophie. So can you guys take a little step back here?
Okay, who else have we got from room 27? Eloise and Matilda and Xavier, come on down here. Now, Eloise and Xavier are only allowed to stand beside her. She's going to do the talking. Eloise and Xavier are only allowed. Oh, how beautiful. That was fabulous. Well done. It's so nice to have you here with your big brother and sister. Thanks, guys. Big step back. You blow me away, Matilda. That was amazing. Who else have we got from Ruby? You're up next.
Hi, my name is Ruby, and this is my brother Braxton. He is from Babies and Buddies Daycare, and he is in room 27 with Mrs. Ballard.
Wonderful. You guys can have a seat on the stage. Zach, come on. I think the Zach's got 2 people to introduce.
This is my brother Henry and Dillard, and they're from Henderson Kindergarten, and they're in room 27 with Mrs. Ballard.
How come there's 2 of them?
Because he's got 20 brother and sister. Awesome. Can you take this up on the stage as well? Who else is room 27? Room 27, right?
This is my brother Kira. He used to be a Sturgis First Kindergarten, and now he's in room 27 with Mrs. Ballard. Hello.
Awesome. You guys up on the stage too? No one else here 27? Oh, yeah.
Big voice. Big
He's
up.
in room 27 with Mrs. Ballard.
Thank you, Maria. Lovely to have your little brother here as well. Then we've got some other children from other classes. Here is Lewis to introduce his buddy from room 6.
Here's Ollie, room 6 with Miss Boy.
Awesome. Welcome to school. Ollie, love seeing you at school. It's a big school. Will you guys stand up there too? And Jada.
This is my sister Aiden. She's in room 5 with Miss Brown.
In room 5 with Miss Graham. Okay, awesome. Welcome. And then, who have we got next?
This is Dexter from Phillip High School, and now he's in room 16 with Mr. Ramadan.
Welcome, Dexter. Great to have you here.
This is my friend Joe. He's in room 5 school. Now he's in room 18 with Mrs. Dowders.
Awesome. Welcome, Joe. And who's our lucky last? Here we go, please. Welcome, please. Come and stand up here. So look at all our wonderful new friends. Isn't that exciting? Come and sit up here. But I do have a little bit of very sad news today as well. Can I have Galaxy and Lego come up, please? I can hear the ohs already, because that's how I feel as well. To their teachers, Mrs. Whanau, Mrs. Judy, come on up as well, because I'm sure they want to say something. These girls are very special to us, because they've been to other schools before they got here, but they really settled into our school and really became a part of it. But Mrs. Judy, you want to have a little talk?
Okay, so I've only just found out this morning as well that Reggae and Galaxy are leaving us, and I'm really sad because these girls are just absolutely beautiful, and the only way what comes to mind to describe them is shining stars. They are absolute shining stars, and we're really going to miss them. So good luck at Caldy Lands. Also feeling really sad this morning to say goodbye to these two. They've both been in my class since the moment you arrived. You've been in my class, and I've got you today. So So I'm really saying to say goodbye to you now, and all the best. Be really happy.
I know that wherever Galaxy and Regate go, they'll always be part of Western Heights though, and I know that they will come back and visit us here, because you're not going too far away, are you? No, so you'll definitely come back and visit us. Awesome. Let's give all our new children and Galaxy and Regate a big clap.
Okay, this time. Greetings everybody, namaste. That play was just absolutely awesome, and I'm glad there was a break between it and me, because I am a sad second best to that. All the new kids, you could go and sit down, and just while they are, can I just tell you, one of the things I love about this country is all the connections. And right now we have got a European New Zealander, a dad, who is in China, but from New Zealand, watching a story from India live. Isn't that just so cool? Well, I thought it was. Anyway, all right then, tough audience. We were talking about life last term, and this is kind of pretty much finishing up in the next couple of weeks, but we looked at how life impacts Earth. And if you have a look at that, that's such a sad picture to think that stuff like that is just getting pushed out into our rivers and our oceans, and then the creatures are swimming in that and breathing that, and then we're eating them. It's just sad. And we really do need to take more care. And I think that's kind of an appropriate t-shirt sometimes. Now, when I was doing this, I was quite happy not to do my talk this morning because it's a long whanau time, but right now, a lot of little kids are frantically getting changed into their awesome costumes, so I have to do this. So I thought, well, I've got to find a connection somehow between this and Diwali, and this is the best I could do. Diwali is the story of goodness triumphing over bad. And one way we can help the earth to triumph over pollution and waste is CO2 by doing our bit. Oops.
There was once a land where the weather was very, very strange. There were awful heat waves in some parts, and in others terrible storms and floods. Scientists said it was being caused by too much CO2, which went up into the sky when the grown-ups used energy. They said the CO2 was getting dangerous. Its effects were happening faster than they had thought. Some places could even disappear under the sea, and it was the children of the land who had to live with the horrible consequences. The grown-ups realised they had to do something. They discovered that over 40% of the CO2 was coming from ordinary everyday things like keeping houses warm and driving cars, which meant if they made less CO2, maybe they could save the land for the children.
Is there a happy ending?
It's up to us how the story ends. See what you can do. Search online for Anne.
So it is up to us, we all need to do our bit to help. I'm going to get back on my bike this term and try and use the car a bit less. And there can be a happy ending, which in a way is just what Diwali is all about too. A happy ending for our earth and for our kids and our future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
I'm really sorry, there's a car that is blocking, a white Mercedes T999T. We really need that shifted, I'm sorry guys.
Thank you, Mr. McDonald and Mrs. Nummy. Mrs. G, would you please come and share some news from yesterday?
Okay, can I please have the girls touch and the two boys touch teams stand up? And Cody and Joe can come and join me. So yesterday these children represented Western Heights at the Interschool Medicine Touch Tournament, and there was a little bit of pressure on them because last year the girls and the boys had both won their grades, and again they managed to pull it out of the bag, and the girls and the boys team, the top teams won the grades, and the second team, the boys team, got third in their playoff for third and fourth. It was quite tough because they were almost in the playoff for first and second against our top team, but they and the points differential got put into the third and fourth playoff, so they came third and they beat Whanau quite convincingly. So they performed really, really well. It was a fantastic day out and we were really proud of them. We also want to thank Isaac and Jamie, who coached the top boys team. It was a really awesome effort. So I think we'll give them all a big clap.
Thank you, Mrs. G. Thank you, Mrs. G. The Indian dancers will now come on stage to perform a medley of Bollywood dance routines. Their dance routine is a fusion of Western and Indian music. Allow them to take you on a journey of splendor, color, and vibrant rhythms, because Diwali's celebration is incomplete without music and dance.
This is the tribute to Delilah.
This is what it's
Rua. Wow, that was an amazing performance. Let's give the Western Heights Indian dancers another round of applause. With that, we now conclude our Diwali Whanau time. But hold on, it's not over yet.
We will be offering a small piece of barfi to all the lovely Western Heights children, teachers, support staff and parents who have come here to celebrate Diwali. This is room 14's and room 19's pay it forward. These barfis were made by the kids with help from their teachers and parent helpers. We would like to say a huge thank you to all of the amazing parents that have helped us organise today. Thank you for helping to dress the children, apply makeup and costumes, and with making the barfi. Without your help, today would not be possible.
I would like these parents, wherever they are seated, to stand up and take a bow, because these are the amazing heroes without which we teachers can't do anything. Aarti from room 19, Firoza from room 19, Dani from room 19. Please come forward, Dani. Natalie, my amazing friend, come help her, come forward. Ishita's and Tria's mummy. Room 14's mums and parents, I don't know their names, but if you could please, Rebecca, the teacher aide, and Mrs. Hodder. Have I missed out on anyone else? Tracy. Oh my goodness, Tracy, how can I forget you? Please come forward. And Rebecca. These guys have gone. Please come forward. Mrs. Hodder and myself and Miss Linda, we couldn't have done this without you guys. They have made over 900 pieces of coconut barfi. I've really slave driven them, Mrs. Hodder and me, but honestly, these are the real heroes. Without them, none of this would have been possible. So I want all of you to give them a big round of applause. Hey. So sorry. There was one daddy cool, one Mr. Coolest dad I could have is Mr. Sumit. Please come forward. Sumit. No, come on. Oh, he was in my class yesterday, and he was working from home as well as making around 250 puris, as Indian fried bread, along with, I don't know how he did it, but he did it. Thank you. And Ahana's mom, I don't know if she's here. Thank you. Thank you, all of you. Thank you.
Tahirua. Teachers, you will be given the barfi for your class on your way out. Teachers, please make sure to check if there are any children who may have dairy, coconut, or sugar allergies.
Teachers, can you please take your classes?
Okay, sorry, 2 seconds. I know, but I had to listen first. Okay, just before you do, I think it's really important that we acknowledge the 3 teachers who've worked so hard today to put this together, Linda, Smita and Joanne, but we'll have front and centre Smita because she is the driving force. No, you're all 3, come on. I know. We're a team. And Iris, can you step up too, please, if you wouldn't mind? Oh, she's away. Oh, she is there. Come on, Iris. And Shraddha. And Rebecca. Okay, Tahirua. The thing about this school is it really truly is a family like no other I've ever known. And this is a family, and we're acknowledging Smeda, but no person is an island, no person stands alone. They stand on the support of their friends, and these are Smeda's wonderful friends who have helped her and supported her as she has led and driven this amazing week. So a huge thank you to them all, and especially our beloved Smeda. Sorry, last thing too, please parents don't leave. We're going to hand over in a moment for the children to be dismissed, but parents, we need you to wait if you would please, and then we have something for you as you leave.
Tahirua. Tahirua.
Tahirua. Can we just bob down for 10 more seconds?
Tahirua. Teachers, can you please take your classes? Junior classes may line up in front of Mrs. DeLima. All middle school classes in front of Mrs. Hodder. All senior classes line up in front of Mrs. Hall. Thank you once again for celebrating Diwali Whanau time.